morning. I'm just getting set up here. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States, and I'd love to know what part of the world you're from. And I am live streaming here in multiple places. I'm on my MacBook Pro on YouTube, and I'm on my phone on TikTok. I have software that actually lets me live stream in both places. And today is Saturday, so happy Saturday. For people that if you're working a job, you're probably off today. Good morning, Mark. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I'd love to know what part of the world you live in. Good morning, Orndada, and if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, I apologize. Good morning, Hoonigan. Good morning, Interconnect. Good morning, this is Soren. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Hilma. Good morning, Cindy. Let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. Good morning, GM. And if you're new, if this is the first time you've been on one of my lives, comment yes, because I'm seeing names I don't recognize. Good morning, Mimi. Good morning, Deborah. And Deborah Levy. And I'm seeing my friend today, Deborah Levy. Good morning, NJT. Good morning, Barbara. Good morning, Trisha. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Baldy. Good morning. It's me, McKay. What do people call you? If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I get people on these and on my social media accounts from all over the world. And it's different time zones. I'm on Eastern Standard Time. It's about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. You're from New Jersey. What part of New Jersey, Mimi? I used to live in New Jersey. I used to live in Winslow Township, which is kind of on the way to the Jersey Shore. Good morning, Lady M. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. I did live in New Jersey, and now I'm living in Pennsylvania, Monmouth County. Okay. I did live in New Jersey, and now I live in Pennsylvania. Good morning, Baby Cakes. What do people call you? Good morning, Donna. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Now today, and I've got my whiteboard here that I'm going to use. I'm showing this in two places. I'm going to talk about how to make 10K in 30 days. Drop in the comments, what would $10,000 do for you? And it's not that hard to make $10,000 in a month. It really isn't. Good morning, Clinton. Good morning, Florian. Good morning, Stephen. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I'm about 45 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm about 2 hours from New York City. Good morning, Katrina. Good morning, Carol. Let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. And YouTube, if you don't say anything, I can't see you. So if you don't comment, good morning, Margot. If you don't comment, I can't shout you out. If you comment, I will shout you out. Mimi, I'm going to go over that. I'm going to start that in a few seconds. I'm just trying to get hooked up. I'm live streaming in more than one place. I have software that lets me do that. I am on TikTok here on my phone. I'm also on YouTube. I'm on multiple social media platforms. I've been doing this for a long time. I do suggest, if you're new, that you only pick one social media platform and do it till you master it, because when I start, I do suggest you do that, because until you master it, if jumping around to other platforms, it's not gonna get you what you want. Good morning, GM. You're from Ethiopia. Okay. Good morning, Adam. All right. So I've got my marker here. I have a whiteboard that I'm using, but I'm going to show you how you can make $10,000 in the next 30 days. If anybody wants to know how to do that, drop a comment and tell me, what would $10,000 do for you? How would that impact your life? Would that help? And I was just, writing an email this morning about being stuck in the same place, stressing out how you're going to pay all your bills each month. Good morning, Diane. Excuse me. And I know what it's like to be broke, and I know what it's like to be living paycheck to paycheck. And the truth is, most people are doing that. And most people, if you had an emergency that would come up in the next, today, tomorrow, this week, you wouldn't have the money to cover it, because most people don't even have $1,000 in their savings account. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Roger. So let me know. I'm showing this right in front of my TikTok account, that you can see the writing okay. And I did do a mirror on my TikTok account so that the writing's facing you. But I'm going to show you how to make 10K in 30 days. And the first thing you need, I'm going to put this here, is you need a product. Now, you just don't want to pick anything. You need a product. You don't just want to pick anything. You want to pick something that's in high demand and you can make 100% profit from it. And there's different things. And if you can like my live, I'd really appreciate if you're jumping on. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Rashida, if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. But you need a product that's in high demand and you can make 100% profit, because if it's not in high demand, let me just share this over here on YouTube and back here on TikTok. If it's not in high demand, the reality is nobody's going to want it. And you might have a handful of people that want it, but you're probably not going to make any sales. So in-demand product, and one that you can make 100% profit. I've done different things since I've been online, and I've shared the profits with people. And typically an affiliate program or network marketing program, they're going to pay you 20 to 40%, which, I mean, what would you rather make, 20 to 40% or 100%? I'd rather make 100%. Good morning, Geek Girl. If you could like my live, I'd really appreciate it. So you need a product that's in high demand. So the second thing you need is automations. And a lot of you, and if you've gone to my website, automations is number 2. You don't want to send people to just a page with information or a sales page or a replicated website, because the problem with that is you only have one opportunity to talk to the person, and then they're gone. And that's it. You can't, and they may or may not come back. What you want to do, and you want to send people to a capture page or a website where they have to put their email address in. And it's preferable in exchange if you give them away something for free. Like I have a free PDF. It could be a free PDF. It could be an ebook. It could be a free webinar training that you can give them in exchange for that. And when people come to my website and they give me my email address, they get on my email list and they get an email from me with a link with the PDF that they can download it and they can save it. Because you want to build an email list. You do not own your social media accounts. You can lose them at any time. I've lost 10 TikTok accounts. I had one that I had over 200,000 followers. I lost 3 Instagram accounts. Somebody hacked my Instagram account. I had 2 others. Instagram suspended them, and then Instagram did not rule in my favor. So I had to start all over again. And I started posting on this TikTok account last June, and I just hit 100,000 followers, and now I'm monetized. So TikTok is actually paying me for using the site. And a lot of them have monetization programs. I'd be monetized on Instagram because I'm close to 100,000 followers over there, but they discontinued the program. And that's how you can create multiple streams of income. And before I started doing this, when I had a job, I never thought about having multiple streams of income, because if you lose one, and the only one I had, if you're just depending on a job, is my job. And when I lost my job, I was screwed. Never thought about it. And that's one of the other things I've learned in this industry. My mentor has taught me how to create multiple streams of income. But you want to, number 2 is automations. And you do need a tool. You want to be building an email list because you don't own your social media accounts. A tool called an autoresponder, which most of them you can start for free. Like the one I use, they give you up to 2,000 subscribers. But after that, you're building an email list. You want to get past 2,000 subscribers or whatever the limit is, and there is a cost involved. But that email list is an asset. You own it. You control it. Nobody can take it away from you. But your social media accounts, you can lose them at any moment. And yeah, I'm using social media. There's over 5 billion people on social media that you can get exposure to for free. So you definitely want to use social media, but you don't want to rely on it completely. And it doesn't really matter what you're doing. You could have a cause you're supporting. I had a lady on this the other day. She has a nonprofit she's running that's for women who've been victims of domestic violence, and she's using social media. If it's something like that, or a message, you got an online, offline business, you want to get people on your email list. That's an asset. You own it. You control it. Nobody can take it away from you. So if you're not building an email, list and you're just relying on social media, you're probably, I mean, and you can, I mean, and I could lose my accounts again, but the one difference is I have an email list. That's one. And the second thing is I've built up a skill, and it's the skills you master that nobody can take away from you. And this is a high income skill. You can learn it in 2 weeks, but mastering it, it's something you have to do every single day. And like professional athletes, um, play every day, even in the off season. The only way you can get really good at something is do it every day. And when I say every day, I mean 7 days a week. Because if you're trying to build an audience on social media and you don't show up every day, and if you're just going to call this a Monday to Friday thing, then you're probably never going to be able to get people to follow you. People want to know you're going to show up. You may not think people are watching you, but I'm telling you they are. Um, and they want to know that you're going to show up. And then if you don't show up, then they'll go follow somebody else who does show up. So the automations and sending people. I mean, yeah, you do need a product that's in high demand and you want to make it that it's 100% profit. But the automations, you want to attach that to a website where you have a place for people to put in their email address. You get them on your email list, and you'll have a bunch of emails set up. You can do this with this software. And I've got probably like 33 at this point, emails that are going out automatically for me 24/7. It doesn't matter if I'm sleeping or I'm out doing something. And I've still been able to make money because of the automations, and they're running for you 24/7. If anybody wants to like my live, I'd really appreciate it. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Gash. Good morning, TikTok. Is that what people call you? Good morning, user. I can't see the number. And then I think somebody else should shop something. What do people call you? But if you can like my live, whether you're on my TikTok account or you're on my YouTube channel, I'd really appreciate it. So the second thing is automations. And if you're new and basically you're setting up a system, you may not know how to do that. That's why I'm trying to do this for free. But if you want my free PDF that outlines the blueprint, it's a 2-hour proven blueprint. You want to go up here, payudaily.com. That's my website. If you opt in, read the information, and you'll get an email from me with a link in it with the free PDF. You can download and save that. And save it to your computer. Jay, you're saying you bought the Launchpad? Okay. Well, we're doing a 90-day run right now in our community that if you're not plugging into that, because Michelle does a training every day, a short video. It's usually 5 to 10 minutes with the training. Thank you for liking the live, but you may want to plug into that too, because she gives you a daily action step. And the sprint we're doing now is 30K in 90 days. I'm just doing this 10K in 30 days on this live because it's not that hard to make $10,000 in a month. And people think it's hard, and really it's not, but you need to have the right things in place. So the second thing you need is automations. Now, the third thing you need is, I call it discovery. And we have a 2-hour, and yesterday I went over the 2-hour workday. I'm not going to do that again today. You need a discovery method, which you're using social media to getting exposure every single day, and getting people into your system, driving traffic from a social media account. And you're doing, and the blueprint, I went over this yesterday, but part of the blueprint is you're posting 3 videos a day, 3 short videos. I post 3 short videos on my TikTok account, and then I take those same videos and I put them on my Instagram account, because I'm getting, well, actually, Jay, when you signed up, you should have gotten an email to join school. It's skool.com. If you're not in the community, I would get back to the person you bought it from, and ask them how you can get access, because you should have gotten an email, one with your login and password, and then another one of those should have had the link to join school. If you didn't get the emails, they're probably in your spam folder, because a lot of people, that ends up in their spam folder and they say they don't get it. Check your spam, your promotions folder. But if you haven't joined the community, I highly suggest you do that, because when Michelle's doing that training, we started almost 2 weeks ago. And it's going through for 90 days till like mid December. But you should actually get in there, because the the community, I mean, you can go in anytime if you need help. You can ask questions. That's really a piece of it that you want. So that's the third one, the discovery method. We show you how to use social media correctly and how to build your email list. Because if you're using social media and you're not building an email list, you're missing out. So those are the three things you need to do to get and you can get the 10K in 30 days. Now, I can't guarantee anybody income. I don't know your work ethic. I don't know the time and effort you'll put into it. But if you've got anybody has any questions, drop them in the comments. But it is easy. And if anybody wants more information, you can get my free PDF. Go to payudaily.com. I have a PDF that you can download and save that actually goes over the blueprint we're using in a lot more detail. And you can save that, put it on your computer. But if you are doing that, then and you are using a social media, good morning, Beth. Good morning, Aiden. Good morning, Judy. Good morning, Marion. Good morning, Kevin. Where you're coming in from. I'm on the East Coast of the United States. If you're using social media for whatever the reason, and you're not sending people to something like a capture page, a website, a squeeze page, a landing page, it's all the same thing, that you can get their email address, you're missing out on the opportunity to talk to people more. You're only going to get that one chance. Best Philly. Oh, you're from Philly. Okay. Well, you can see we're going to the Phillies game tonight. We got tickets. And of course we have to go and get a cheesesteak. There's a couple of cheesesteaks places down there. We like Gino's and Pat's, but I do think Tony Luke's is the best. The bread is whatever. Marion, you're from Romania. Welcome. Good morning, Grace. Good morning, Jerry. Good morning, Finky. Let me know where you're coming in from. And one person, she's telling me she's from Philly. I live outside the city, about 40 minutes outside the city, but we have Phillies tickets tonight. We've had these tickets for a long time, and it's cool because last night they won and the Brewers lost. We still have a chance to get the number one seed. Good morning, Bernie. This is a global business, what I'm doing. We want to make sure it's global, because there are some things that people haven't actually. I'm an affiliate of one. They're only limited, and that's why I don't put it out on social media, because they're limited to like Canada and the United States. And I get people from all over the world. You want something that's global. Good morning, Angie. That's another thing that I've learned from my mentor, how to promote things on the back end, build your email list. Good morning, Angie. Jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I do live on the East Coast of the United States, so it's about 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. And I just was going over how to make $10,000 in 30 days. And I gave you a couple steps that you need to do. If you want more detail, go to payudaily.com, or you can click, if you come up here to my profile on TikTok, my website's in there, payudaily.com. I have a free PDF that outlines the blueprint we're using. This is a proven blueprint, working 2 hours a day. You can get this down to 2 hours a day. If you're new and you've never done this before and you've never created content or anything, it's probably going to take you longer in the beginning, because anything that you're doing for the first time, you're not going to be as good at it. And in fact, I know the first videos I ever did sucked. It's just kind of the way that it is. But as you get better, you do it more, you'll get faster, you'll get better. And you can get this down to 2 hours a day. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, Willie. Really, where do you live in Philly? Good morning, user 3657. Thank you, Michael, for liking the video. I really appreciate it. Good morning, Willie. Good morning, Susan. Good morning. Oh, I can't see that. Let me know where you're coming in from. And there's somebody on here that she's telling me. Todd, you're in Florida? Okay. What part of Florida? Good morning, Jenny was letting me know that she lives near me. I don't know if she lives in the city or she lives in the thing, but I have my Philly shirt on because we have tickets tonight. And we have a ritual. We get cheesesteaks first, and then around the 6th or 7th inning, we get ice cream. But there is rain in the forecast tonight, so I'm going to end up bringing a poncho or a slicker because the rain. You're near Orlando, okay? The rain's supposed to start around 8:00, and I think it's supposed to get heavier as the night goes on, like into the wee hours. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but there's rain. Beth, you live in Delco. I'm on the edge of Delaware and Chester County. My development's kind of weird because when you're on my street, if you're standing on my street, you're in one township. If you cross the street, you're in another one. It's kind of weird. But I'm on the edge of Chester and Delaware County. Good morning, Ray. If anybody else wants to drop in the comments where you're coming in from, but I was just going over the steps and I'm done. And actually, I don't think I'm going to go over again unless somebody really wants me to. How to make $10,000 in the next 30 days. If you want my free PDF that lays out the blueprint we're using, it's a 2-hour workday. It's a proven blueprint my mentors used. Go to payudaily.com, or if you're on my TikTok account, you can come all the way up here to my profile. And in the bio, there's a link. That's my website, payudaily.com. Good morning, Willie. You're from the Philippines. Well, thanks for jumping on. Good morning, Anne Marie. Where are you coming in from? If anybody has any questions, it's not that hard to make $10,000 in 30 days. And what would $10,000 do for you? If anybody wants to drop in the comments, what $10,000 would do for you. And I just sent out an email this morning talking about, because so many people, you're broke, you're living paycheck to paycheck. If you had an emergency, most people don't even have $1,000 in savings. You wouldn't have the money to cover it. And unfortunately, that's the way most people are. And somebody needs to hear this today, but it's your birthright to be wealthy. It's my birthright to be wealthy. God didn't mean for anybody to be broke or living in poverty. And yet so many people are. Good morning, Don. Good morning. Is it Charang? And then you've got numbers after that. I'm not going to say anything else. But most people, unfortunately, are living like that. They're kind of one step from like a catastrophe, because if you did have an emergency, an unexpected expense, whether it's your car breaks down or something else, most people don't have the money to cover it. And then like if it's something with your car, what people do is they put it on a credit card, and then you're accumulating credit card debt. And I know what that's like, because I know when I lost my job, I went from being debt-free. I did not have 2 mortgages. I had 1 credit card with nothing on it. If I paid something, I paid it off at the end of the month. And then I couldn't find a job, worst job market ever. I found myself drowning in $250,000 of debt. I had no idea how I was going to get myself out of this mess. And if I hadn't found this industry and digital marketing, I don't know that I'd still have my house. Good morning, Jenny. Good morning, Shelley. I lost just about everything else but my house, but I'm still in my house. And I do believe that's, if I hadn't found this, because I couldn't find a job, worst job market ever. The job I did find, I took it. It was $12.50 an hour in a call center, and I ended up losing that job too. I was there not that long. I knew I wouldn't be there long, but $12.50 an hour, nobody can live off that. And I'm meeting a lot of people online telling me you're getting close to retirement, you don't have the money to retire, or you've already retired, and some of you are trying to live off of Social Security, which I think is impossible, because I think the most anybody can get is $2,200, and that's, you have to wait till you're, I don't know, it's 70 or 72. I'm not sure the threshold, but that's the most that somebody can get. And some people are living off of less. And you can't, one person can't live off of $2,000, let alone less than that. And so many people are in that situation. And I believe a lot of you are on here because you're either looking for a way to make money from home, or you've been trying, and you're not getting the results that you want. This is a high income skill you can learn in 2 weeks. You're not going to master it in 2 weeks. And I know the first year I did this, I didn't know anybody. I went to Google. I bought a website. I searched Make Money Online. I bought that website. They sent me a PDF with setting up pay-per-click ads, which I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing. I spent over $3,000 on the pay-per-click ads. I did that for a year and I didn't make any money. I was sending traffic to a replicated website. I didn't have a mentor. If I had a mentor would have said to me, look, you're sending traffic to a replicated website, which you never want to do. And it is not, I just kind of laid out the steps to a blueprint to make $10,000 in 30 days. It's not that hard. And nobody's commented on here, what would $10,000 do for you? And nobody's commenting on my YouTube channel. And if you don't comment, guys, over here, I can't see you. So drop a comment. I can give you a shout out because a lot of you, I mean, TikTok and YouTube are different. TikTok does show me. I can see people coming on. If you like my live, and if you do like my live, I really appreciate it. That helps my account. YouTube does not show me that. So if you don't comment, you're on my YouTube live. I can't see you. Good morning, Tarbus. Is that, if I didn't pronounce that correctly, I apologize. But what would $10,000 do for you? And a lot of people, I mean, I know what it's like to be broke, unemployed, and in foreclosure. It sucks being broke. And at one point I was so broke, I'm grateful I'm not in that situation anymore. I was cutting mold out of food, hoping I wouldn't get sick because I didn't have any money to buy food. And I pissed everybody off. Good morning, Laka. Good morning, D's Tees. And I'm assuming you have a t-shirt business. Do you promote your t-shirts on social media? And it doesn't matter. Good morning, Paulina. It doesn't matter what you're using social media for, because I had somebody, and she was willing to share that with me, that she has a nonprofit she has that supports women who are victims of domestic violence, and she's using social media. Because if you're using social media for that, or you have a message you're trying to get out, you want to use it correctly. I have a digital business, digital marketing. Mrs. Incredible, is that 5289? Is that what people call you? You want to use it correctly. And most people I see, they're not using it correctly. People are taking links to something, a video or a website, and they're spamming it on people's content, their videos, or their private messaging people, sending it to them. And that's spam, and you don't want to do that. And actually, when anybody starts doing that with me, I just immediately block people, because you're wasting my time. And you don't ever want to spam anybody. If you do have something you're trying to promote, you want to ask people first if they're open to taking a look at it. And that's prospecting, and that does work. But you want to ask them first to see if they're open to taking a look. If they're not, then you just want to, thank them for their time and move on. Because I see a lot of people. Thank you, Michael, for liking my live. I really appreciate it. Good morning, Hassan Flores, and I'm probably not saying that correctly. I apologize. They're not doing it correctly. You're just going to repel people. And I've learned an attraction marketing strategy where you attract people to you. And that's way better. You can do prospecting. That works. I promoted a network marketing company for a few years and signed over 350 people doing that. And I was living in Messenger. You really never have any time by yourself. And if you're not on social media, you're not making money. If you use leverage and systems, and that's what I have, you can make it passive, and you can be making money 24/7. That's how you can get down to 2 hours a day, and then the rest of the day is yours to do whatever you want. And in fact, when I'm done this live, I'm done. And I actually have plans later today. Good morning, Tim. If you're jumping on, good morning, Stephen. Where are you coming in from? If anybody has any questions about how and those of you that are coming on now, I did a thing about how to make 10K in 30 days. It's not that hard. And if you don't have the right things, and I know when I started, I didn't have the right things. I didn't have a system. I was sending people to traffic to a replicated website. I didn't have a mentor, because if I had a mentor would have said to me, you're sending traffic to a replicated website. You never want to do that. You only get one chance to talk to the person, and then you're done. So I'm going to give you guys a few more minutes. If nobody has any questions about what I showed you or something else, or you're trying to figure something else out, I'd be glad to do one of these trainings another day, not today, because I'm going to end this in a few minutes. Because I don't think anybody, let me just check, nobody has any questions. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Seashells. Where are you coming in from? I live on the East Coast of the United States, about two hours from New York City and about 40 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia. Thank you, Michael, for liking my live. I really appreciate it. So if nobody has any questions, I'm going to end this now. I will be back again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I appreciate it jumping on, liking my live, and I will see you tomorrow.